Hi, sorry about that. We're going to have to try to do this in 2 parts, I guess. Hopefully we won't lose you again. Welcome back. We are having a connectivity problem, and I think it's on the Facebook end. I really do. We are fully connected here at the shop, but we kept cutting in and out on Facebook for some reason. So what I've done is you saw that I had pieced all of my transfers, the Japonica transfers, to fit each of the drawer pieces. I taped them in place. So now I'm using my little plastic tool, guys. Let us know if you've come back or if you're continuing to have any problem. I hope not. That kind of stinks, doesn't it? We love technology, but we don't like it when it goes wrong. I shifted this a little bit, got a little separation, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me, guys. So, I am just going to lay the rest of this down, and kind of want to get all of this on here so that I can show you how I piece on the other part. This is pretty. This is such a beautiful design, and I love it. And we'll lift. You can lift part way. And if there's any remaining transfer on the backing, I can lay it right back down. That's why I like to start from one end and work my way across, just in case I've got any little bits that are left behind. But there it is. Wowza, that is gorgeous.
Yes.
And you can see that pretty shading that I laid in below. Let's get our second piece on here. This really goes pretty quickly. Once you start at this end this time. Are we getting anybody back on again?
Yes, everybody's coming back.
I'm so glad. I saw a little sneak when I was checking the problem with the connection, and saw you are joining from all over the world. Isn't it amazing how we get to do that? I do love social media. I think it can be,
friend or foe.
It can be. That is absolutely true. But for the most part, I have found it very much my friend. And I've met so many wonderful people who have become friends that I've visited from across the country. And it's just lovely to meet people who have the same passions as you do, and that share your love of vintage and DIY, or they're shop owners, and it's so great. In fact, I think in a couple weeks I'm going to be traveling out to Canada to visit with another IOD stockist and take a workshop up in her neck of the woods, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you're going to have fun.
I know, it's going to be really awesome. Now, I shifted a little bit here, so here's what I'm going to do. See how I came off grid here?
Yes, what do you do?
I'm going to do this.
I love when you mess up, because...
Do you really?
Well, just because you're teaching me what to do, and I surely will mess up.
But you know what? We all mess up. And the thing is, it's okay. We're not striving for perfection here. And I think that's one of the wonderful things that we get to do, or by using the mediums that we use, whether it's our paint or when we use IOD products. Especially with IOD, there's so much built-in distressing in them that it really does make it easy for you to goof up and have it be okay. So it just looks like it blends right in, and like it was just intended to be that way. And the other wonderful thing is that these transfers can all be distressed, which even adds more to that worn and aged appearance. There it goes. Now see, this is the one that I had, now I got to figure out which way did it go. Just like this, and I was right over to the end. So I'm just going to line that back up with the bottom of my drawer. And see, that will fit right there.
Tammy asked, does the rubbing put marks in wood?
It shouldn't, Tammy. You want to be sure, number one, that your paint finish is completely cured. I would never rub a transfer on after, even 24 hours of painting a piece of furniture. I want to make sure that my paint, and again, it depends on what paint you're using, according to its specifications. You want to make sure that it's cured and that you've given it some really good dry time. If you're working on old pieces, a lot of them are hardwoods anyway, so it's unlikely that you're going to be able to scratch into the wood.
It would take a lot more pressure than what you're using.
And to be honest with you, if for example, where I was rubbing on one of these transfers, I had a little bit of an indentation, you're really not going to see it. Good question though, Tammy. Very good.
It is, and I've never heard that question.
Yeah.
Or ever even considered it.
Tammy, do you paint a lot of furniture? Is Tammy going to answer? Do we have furniture painters and finishers on here today? I bet there are some.
Okay, do you seal the transfers after you apply them?
Absolutely, and I will not be sealing them on this video because we're just not going to have the time to do that, but whatever your favorite sealer is, you can use a clear polyacrylic, you can use waxes to seal these, but you definitely want to, otherwise you're in danger of scratching this off, and you don't want to do that after all that hard work.
Okay, and Tammy does not paint furniture, but she wants to.
Oh my goodness, Tammy, there's a whole new world that can open up to you.
Okay. Someone else asked, how do I seal transfers on glass or mirrors?
Oh, that is another very good question, and one that comes up quite often. We do not seal them.
Okay.
We do not seal our transfers when they're on glass or mirrors.
Because you would see every streak of whatever you're using.
And you want to think about this. If it's on a mirror, or if it's on a piece of glass or an old window or something, that is just basically used as a decor piece. It's not anything that is, unless you've got a house full of hooligans, it would just be scraping and scratching on it.
Or cats, perhaps?
No cats, I don't think so. But typically it's going to be up on a wall, and then you're not going to mess with it. A light dusting will do. When you start to think about applying a sealer of any kind over glass, you're running the danger of then having brush strokes and streakiness, and I just don't think that would be a good look. That's my opinion.
Now, Linda is in the UK and asks where she can get the transfers.
Hi, Linda. There are some stockists in the UK. So, in fact, just the other day, someone had reached out to me about this very thing, and I had sent her a link to the stockist page, and I moved my cursor right over to the UK and sent that to her so that she could find someone close to her or someone that could ship to her in the UK. And there are many. There are several stockists throughout England, for sure. Are you sad that the prince and princess are going to be leaving the UK and moving to North
how do you
America?
feel about it? Well, they won't be spending all their time in North
That's
America.
right.
They're going to split their time.
And my other question to you is, you UK people, do you watch The Crown also?
Yeah, that is a great question. Linda asks if you can seal the transfer with wax.
Yes, you can, Linda. Absolutely. What I would not use for sealing, I would not use a urethane finish. A urethane, I think, has an oil in it, and an oil I just would not want that breaking down any of the transfer or the plastics that are in it.
Okay.
Okay. This is coming along nicely. It's making me think not about the snow. Actually, we haven't had much snow here.
No, it's miserable rain. I would prefer
Gross
snow.
and rainy. We've been just filming all day trying to get the best light possible and filming our video workshops. We're headed out to the cottage shortly. We're going to be filming out there. But look at how easy this is with those grid lines just to make this transfer fit. I think we'll want to make sure we keep an eye on the time.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lynn. Tammy's question. I'll have to scroll back and see. She asked if this puts rubbing marks in the wood, and typically it would not.
No, it wouldn't, because most of the time you're working, you've got a painted surface, which is creating a barrier between the transfer and your wood surface. If you're using old pieces of furniture, most of the times it's hardwoods anyway. And also, I think that if you did have a little bit of a softer wood, say like a pine or something like that, I really don't, I've never had that experience. You're going to want to make sure that whatever painted surface you are applying your transfer to has completely cured and is dry. And that would just be according to the manufacturer's specifications. I don't think whoops, go ahead.
Okay, Tammy asked if you can add transfers over time on a piece.
Over time, what do you mean? Like, if I wanted to add another transfer on this later, after it had been finished? Is that what you mean, Tammy? Oh my goodness, look at how pretty that is. And what a difference it makes to have that.
She said, or should you plan all transfer at what time?
At one time? What do you mean plan all transfer? Well, certainly, you know what? I could go back and I could certainly add more transfers to this tomorrow or even next week, as long as I didn't have a finish put on it, right? So I'm going.
So you couldn't put a transfer on over a finish?
Yes, you could, but not a wax.
Okay,
Not
gotcha.
a wax. All right, so I just cut another section out. Let me get this back over here. Everything kind of lined up again.
Can you put a transfer on top of chalk paint?
Of course. I don't use, well, yes, I believe you can. And like I said earlier, I think it's always a good idea to snip off a little part of your transfer and try it on your particular paint that you're using. It's always best practice.
And Teresa asked how you would remove a transfer.
You do not remove a transfer other than by sanding it off.
Yeah, we've had to do that.
I have done it a few times. I've
And then
sanded
painting
back
over it.
and paint it over. Absolutely. When I make those boo-boos like I did the other day.
But really, you'd have to remove it the same way you'd remove paint from a piece of furniture, right? By like sanding it off.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are very adhesive. once they're on there, they don't come off easily if you have applied them appropriately. So I'm doing the same thing on this side. I'm lining this up using the grid lines to cut.
But you're trying not to make it like, so you're just repeating the same pattern. That's why you're cutting it
I
apart.
kind of broke apart that second one, and
to me, this is where it would get tricky, but seem very confident.
hey, you know what? It's only paint and it's only transfer. I mean, no, and I don't want to minimize.
You're a pro. You are a pro.
No, but I don't want to minimize the fact that, you know, this you are budgeting for a certain amount to do a piece, and you want it to be, you don't want to have to waste anything.
Yes.
You don't want to waste your time, of course.
How long should you wait for the paint to cure before you apply the transfer?
That's going to be totally up to whatever paint brand you use.
Yes. But most paints will tell you right on the...
Absolutely. You should.
It would be no different than, like, you know how you're supposed to wait before you even put anything on it, right? Like when you paint a piece of furniture, you're supposed to wait X amount of days or hours before you place things on it.
But there again, I'm lining this up. It's really kind of like creating a little bit of a puzzle. Oh, I just want you to see how pretty. I want to see how pretty this is.
It really is so pretty already.
But I'm trying to be mindful of the time too. Oh my gosh.
Carrie asked approximately how much is the cost of a transfer this size? We're actually using two transfers here.
We're using two different transfers. Carrie, that's a good question. I'm going to say one of the large transfers that are 24 by 33 are in the $30 range.
Yeah.
For most retailers.
Joanna asked, will different temperatures affect application of the transfer, like if it is too cold or too hot where you are working?
That's another really good question.
We have experience doing it in both those kinds of temperatures.
Yes. You know, you don't want to be working. I can't imagine anybody working on this in a 50-degree garage or barn.
Really?
Really.
I feel like we have done that.
Well, I would say that's not the preferred way.
Yes, it's not the preferred way.
Is you do not want these stored. You want them stored in a temperate,
like a pantry temperature.
Yes, of course. And if you're in the South, you don't want to leave these sitting in an unair conditioned car or sitting in a parking lot in your car, heating up. And
so no extremes of temperature. Good, don't.
Insensitive it would be.
But no extreme temps, right? Basically.
No, that's exactly right.
Susan asked what color your paint is in. It's a lot of different colors here that she used. You can see she mixed, like, I think you started with like an off-white, right?
Yeah,
and then added some pinks and some mossy green.
Yeah, I pulled some of the colors from what was in the transfer, because I wanted it to really blend in with that background.
It is coming together nicely. I was not sure at first, but it looks great.
Because you know how it is with me. I typically fly by the seat of my pants, and then I'm...
But you're really good at having a vision, and sometimes I'm...
Oh, boy, yeah.
What, you messed up?
Good. Now,
oh.
This is going to be good.
That was a ambiguous oh, boy.
This is going to be pretty, you guys. I love this already. Oh my gracious.
Terry asked what brand or type of paint. It's just like a mineral paint, right, that we use? I think you used a mix of some different things.
Retailers use a chalk-based paint. I really, I'm not going to say one is any better than the other. That would not be the case at all. So, I kind of don't want to... I really don't want to talk about brands. You can always message me.
No, that's why I just said type. What type? It's just like
Like a
mineral
yeah, a
matte
finish, chalk style paint.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to lay these back down on here because I want to make sure I get them lined up. Remember, I cut apart that second transfer.
That looks really cool with just the black on top.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a black or like a really dark brown?
It's like a very deep brown.
Yeah, it's
Don't
really
you think?
pretty. Yes,
which would make sense with the particular color palette and tone that are going on in this transfer. But wow, is this gorgeous! I remember once when Sally and Josie were introducing these to the stockists, and she was saying like, I want to just live right on top of this flower right here. And I couldn't agree more. It's just so beautiful.
Tammy asked you pick your paint colors first and pull from the transfer, or pick your transfer first and then your color.
You know, I'm kind of one of those. I could go either way, Tammy.
Yeah,
I
I've
really
seen you do
could.
both ways.
I could be... my inspiration comes from so many different directions, and I may be completely falling in love with a particular transfer.
No, there you go.
There we go. And then I'll think of like
that
what
will
it would
inspire
look like,
your
on
paint.
what colors would it look good? Or I might be wanting to paint a piece in a certain blend of colors, and then I'll think I'll ask myself if I want to transfer over it, what transfer would look really awesome.
Yes, I've definitely seen you get really excited to use a new color, and then immediately are like, oh, I can imagine this transfer on it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to trim a little bit right here. You know, the other thing with these old pieces is they are not perfect. Sometimes your drawers are a little bit off, and you may have to accommodate a touch here and there. I kind of wish that I could put just glass knobs on this, but...
Could you put just glass pulls?
You could, sure, but like I said in the beginning, these are...
Oh, you're going to have to use the original because it's...
I mean, I could fill all of my holes in and then re-drill for
But
different...
that ship has sailed. You can't do that now, right?
No, not now, no. And way too much work, I think, for this particular case. Because, I mean, they're really pretty metal ovals, and they will just kind of blend nicely right into the background.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have a little metal, too, I think, on this.
I'm not going to shine them up at all. I'm just going to let them be their natural selves. And
oh my goodness, it's so pretty.
I know, it really is. So let's see. Remember I said I don't want to, so I'm going to cut, let's see where this goes, like right there. It's the perfect cut. Because I want to layer that a little bit too. See that? See how I'm going to layer it right over?
Mm-hmm. That's another great thing about the transfers is the way you can layer them and still see through a little bit.
For sure. But I don't want to layer, okay, here's a good lesson for us right here. I don't want to layer, when I lay this down, I don't mind layering the florals, and oh, see, and I cut this back too far. See that? I wanted to layer this.
Well, I think if you cut this out, you should be fine, right?
No, but you know what I'm going to do? This is where, but no, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just
cut the
take
black
this
out.
Yep. But see, guys, how if I put this over top of that,
oh, that
it's
won't
gonna
look
be
right.
too much. But I love the way it looks layered.
So what will you do?
So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to very carefully come in, and I'm going to trim away right around that floral. See that? There
Beautiful.
we go. That's That's pretty. Do I want to bring it over a little? I think I do.
Terry asked if you seal with wax or a top coat, and you could use either.
Yep. Whatever you prefer. And just steer clear of any oil-based things. So here I am. I'm layering right over the top of this transfer that was previously applied. Kinda gorgeous. Kinda gorgeous. You guys, if you have a local stockist, I would encourage you to check and see if they have workshops, and if you have not tried the transfers, by all means, like, dig in and give them a try. They're so much fun to use. And you know what, even if you have used them, a lot of your local stockists will have some really awesome fun projects that you can work on using the IOD products, and they typically supply everything that you need to then go home with a beautiful finished piece. Okay, and do one more here. I'm going to trim this off because I don't want that to overlap the drawer edge. Oh yeah, this is very pretty, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I think we're just about ready to wrap this up. So when I finish applying my transfer, I'm going to go over this with a soft cloth in my hand, and I'm going to go over every last inch of this transfer so that I make sure that it is completely sealed down. You may see a little bubble or a wrinkle here and there. You're not working on a completely flat surface. So you want to make sure that your transfer is absolutely adhered all over, or you run the danger of, when you apply your sealer, it could lift if it's not burnished correctly. What do we think, Megan?
Very pretty, very pretty.
Glammy, isn't it? And I'm going to take this one last piece. And I'm going to lay that one there. Again, it's overlapping a little bit. I love that.
So I love that too, and here's what because I like nitpick, and maybe when I'm looking back it won't bother me, but it feels like on this side you have lots of overlapping, and then where we laid the transfer right down, there isn't much overlapping.
Okay.
Like, well, it might look heavier on one side.
Do you think so?
I don't know. But if that was true, what would you do?
What would I do? I'd probably take...
just a couple little pieces and maybe overlap over here.
I'd probably take this, a little bit of greenery right here, and you could overlap it like that.
Don't take my word for it. Let's
No,
just wait and
we're
see.
gonna wait and see. Yep, we always have some creative license there.
Yes.
Do you know what time it is, guys?
Of course, once again, I don't know what time
Anybody
it
watching,
is.
can you take
Anybody watching from the East Coast of the United States?
Yes.
They can tell us what time
We
it is.
seriously need to set a timer when we do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Those colors really are just so pretty.
They're gorgeous. They really are gorgeous. You know, the other thing that I could do is I could remove this.
So it's not so heavy.
Mm-hmm. Shall we try that?
Sure.
And of course, right while it's...
Almost stuck.
completely, right? I know.
That was a good eye, Mom. I think that will do the trick.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I could do is I could bring a little bit of the dark.
I don't like that. I like the black stain at the top.
Yep, you're right. Quickly get this on so we can pop those drawers in. We can have a look. Did anybody give us a time?
No.
Okay.
Maybe they just don't want us to go.
Maybe not.
I bet there's going to be something cool up next, though.
Oh, for sure. So, yeah, we are L&J Goods in Medina, New York. We have a brick and mortar shop. We'd also love it if you find our Facebook page. Give us a follow over there. That would be awesome. We love answering your questions about IOD and
Instagram, we're L&J Goods as well.
and getting excited right along with you as you create your beautiful projects. Answer your questions. Oh, yeah.
Let's put them in, see where we're at.
Okay.
Maybe we'll want to add more, maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. That's right. So like I said again, a very important step is to go over this with your hand and a soft cloth. I got to put something right
Yes,
there, Megan.
I know. I didn't want to say it. I felt like I was already...
No. We've got to. And it's going to be right there. That's where I cut away my little
Yes.
Japonica ladies. We don't like the way that looks. You want to make sure that everything is beautifully adhered. It's sticking down everywhere. There we go. Lovely. And I think that's balanced pretty nicely, even though I have a little bit of overlap. So we're gonna... Oh,
Careful, Mommy.
so
I can do that, and you can hold the camera.
Oh, that's all right. Are you kidding? I'm so used to like hoisting furniture.
I know, but...
And I will go through this and I'll completely burnish this down with a soft cloth before I add a finish. This is not the best angle for me.
Who says? I think it is.
Okay.
So pretty.
There it is. Oh my gosh. I'm really excited about this.
So when it's all done and we have the hardware on, we'll post a picture for sure.
Oh my gosh, you guys. This is beautiful. What a gorgeous transfer. I've used 2 Japonica transfers. I've cut them all apart and rearranged them on this gorgeous painted dresser.
It's a beauty.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. And we'll see you the next time.